Morning, folks. Welcome back. Today will be the last video this week. Obviously, we're away on holiday Friday. The missus has arranged to work from home tomorrow, so I've got the car to sort out and what have you. Laundry, cleaning the house before we go, because the grandson will be staying over at some point, I expect, and the daughter will be in feeding the cat. So, there will be someone here every day, so I'm going to leave it clean and tidy for them. And plus, I've got to pack the computer up and cameras and microphones and stuff to go in the car tomorrow, so I won't have the gear out to make a video. While I'm away, the channel number and the channel email will be getting checked daily, but it's not going to be on all the time. The only number that I will be available on is my personal number. Some of you have got that. Obviously, I'm on holiday, so anything else that you want to tell me, chuck in an email and I'll read it when I get to it. And hopefully we'll make some decent videos while we're up there. I will post now and again while I'm up there, but it won't be regular. It'll be as and when anything exciting happens. If we catch any big fish, notice the if. That's why it's called fishing, not catching. But we're just going to have fun. I'm going to kick back. I'm not going to watch the TV or keep up with the news unless there's a big thing happening. If I start seeing destructed buildings on the way back and the land's been levelled and funny smells and that, then I'll turn around and go back up there. But if you're on the M6 early Friday morning, keep an eye open for this. And if you see it, give us a wave. Guys, as you can see, we now have an anti-tank Focus. I just so wanted to put NATO anti-tank in yellow and put a load of stenciled numbers after it. But being as we've got to go past being as we've got to go past many police forces on the way up the motorway, which have no sense of humour at all, to save myself the grief, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, the Stealth. That's the rod tube that I was fitting. So anyway, I got a few things to go through today, having said that. So BT and the post office are the next ones that are looking to go on strike. They're voting on it. Any more want to join the list, Any more want to go on strike, help bring the country to its knees? I mean, it does nothing, these strikes. All you're doing is inconvenience us, the general public, not the government. You won't inconvenience them one little bit. So it's pointless. All you're doing is turning the public against you, especially with the railway. People will just say, well, sod it, we'll give up on the railways now and we'll find our own forms of transport. And that will happen if they carry on the way they're going, especially with the price rises. And there's only one way that fuel prices and these stupid price rises on everything now can be addressed, is by the government. They're the only ones that can bring down taxes and prices. But I wouldn't hold your breath for that. Wishy-washy took 5p off the duty of fuel tax, which would have equated to 6 to 7p saving per litre at the pump for us. Did anybody see it go down? I only saw it go up. Has he done anything about that? Why don't you force them to introduce the cut? Pure profiteering. So anyway, over in the Ukraine now, the big story was the shopping centre that got blown up. I'll say blown up. Killing many. Last week there was some grain stores that blew up. And obviously Zelensky's blaming the Russians for this, saying, oh, yeah, they were guided missiles and crap. But I've watched quite a few clips of stuff like this. Now, all I see on many of them is an explosion. Don't see any incoming. All you see is the explosion and the end result. I find that suspicious, as there seems to be sort of no point of impact, only an outward explosion. I find that very suspicious, especially as he uses a lot of these clips and a lot of this while playing the victim in his begging videos. Just saying, I find that suspicious. Just an observation. So we got Cranky revving up now for the new independence push up there in the wonderful land of Scotland. How many times does this woman need telling by the Scots and everybody else? Put your head between your ass and fuck off. Nobody wants you. That's all I'm going to say on that. Because I'm more interested in the NATO summit that's kicked off again now. You know, they're condemning Putin, war crimes, all this, that and the other. Well, you condemned him last time and the time before when you've talked about him. He didn't take any notice then. Do you think he's really going to take any notice now? You've either got to go in and sort him out, or you walk away. Because he's not suffering, we're suffering. And we're suffering because of your actions. And we'll suffer more because of your inactions. What is there to talk about? But there again, that's what you want. And it keeps forgetting that. You want us to suffer. You want us in hardship. But now another one that I've talked about before, electric cars. Everybody was, save on this, save on that. Well, if we're all electric, point one, who's going to pay for the maintenance of the roads? Because there's no road tax on them. Although the money they collect out of us poor plebs that drive fuel cars doesn't go on the roads anyway. It's quite obvious by the bloody state of them. But if you think you're going to get away with an electric car because it's cheaper to run, think again. Because now they are drafting papers talking about peak and off-peak charging rates. And the way they're looking at it is basically if the grid is under strain, no car charging will be allowed at all until the power becomes available. See, already the grid's getting overwhelmed by it all. I said this, and that's only with the few we've got now. But there will be peak and off-peak charges. Obviously, peak charges will be a hell of a lot more. And you can guarantee that that's going to be in the evening when your car's parked out at home, charging, ready for the next day. That will be the peak period if it's available. So, why would you buy an electric car? And, you know, along with that, with the price rise in this petrol now and everybody going over to this new fuel, there is a very, very hidden danger on this, and I can't stress it enough. Now, that hidden danger is those that are storing and stockpiling petrol every time they can to save money later. Because with the way the prices are going up, that could actually make sense. But the dangers of storing gallons and gallons of fuel in a shed, in a garage, many garages attached to homes, there is potential there for disaster. And with this new e-fuel, it doesn't store well at all anyway. It attracts water, which is very, very bad for your engine. And it loses its potency. So why would anybody want to keep it anyway, or even use it in a car? But time's getting on. So sorry for that, folks, that this will be the last video this week, and they will be sporadic for the next 10 days or so after that. But I will keep in touch, and I will keep in touch with the comments and emails, etc., on a daily basis. It could be at any time of the day, because I don't know what the tides are, and it's only going to be when we're not fishing. One of the Sundays, if Pap goes live, I'm going to try and go live on there, on StreamYard, if he has the panel. And I'm going to try and do it from outside the cottage, with the beach and everything in the background. I've got to do it from a computer. I don't use my phones for anything like StreamYard, YouTube. They don't even connect to the internet usually. Only the one that I use for the channel. So it's got to be hardwired, or see how far the Wi-Fi reaches outside the cottage, and I'll just run an extension lead out for the computer because the battery's shagged on it. Okay, guys, until I do speak to you again, as always, my respect to each and every one of you, and welcome to the new subs. It's took a long time to get over 200. I should have a lot more on there by now, but due to you know who, it's taking a bit of time. But we're there. We're over the 200 now. We're actually 201. So my respects to each and every one of you for your support, and thank you for helping me get this far so far. And until the next one, stay safe, stay strong, stay free from the tyranny and the corruption. Live your life how you see fit, not how they want you to. Respects.